Stop doing this when you practice. If we haven't met, hi, I'm Megan. I'm a violinist and teacher. I've been playing violin for over 25 years now. I have my bachelor's and master's degrees in violin performance, and I am Suzuki trained. If you're enjoying my videos, please just take a quick second to make sure you are subscribed to my channel. It's easy, it's free, and really helps me out. And if you're looking for structure, support, and guidance along your violin journey, check out Learn Violin Online. It's a complete, comprehensive learning program that takes you from beginner to advanced, with detailed personal feedback from me and a community of other adult learners around you. The link is always in the description. In this video, I'm going to be going over 5 super common practice mistakes. Leave a comment and let me know which one you're guilty of. Number 1, stop always starting at the beginning. I know, it's super tempting, and honestly, I would be lying if I said I had never done this myself. But let's face it, we only have so much mental energy and capacity when we're practicing. And if you're always starting at the beginning, then what's going to happen is the beginning part is going to sound really great, but then as you go further and further along in the piece, the worse and worse it's going to sound. A better way to practice is to break up your piece into sections, and then rotate the order that you practice these sections in. Ideally, you would be practicing the hardest stuff first, or the stuff that you sound the worst at first. And if you're juggling a lot of repertoire, you might find that you need to practice the hard sections every day, but then you can rotate between 1 or 2 easier sections throughout the week. The goal is for the entire piece to sound great, not just the beginning. Number 2, stop going in without a plan. Think about it this way. If you were driving to a friend's house that you had never been to before, would you just get in your car and hope that you found your way there? No, you would pull up a map, a plan on how to get there. And you need to do the same thing with practice. Before your session, you should be setting specific goals. And after your session, you should be evaluating on whether or not you reach those goals. And like I said, these need to be specific. You don't want something vague like get better, sound better, stop sucking. Although I can definitely relate to that sentiment. But no, your practice goal should be something like work on intonation in this section for 5 minutes. Improve rhythm in this section for 10 minutes. This is part of the reason why I like to use a practice journal. It's a space for me to actually write down those goals before my sessions. Include any observations that happen during the session, things that work really well, things that don't work, questions that I have, evaluate myself at the end, and plan for tomorrow's session. Having a plan for your practice session is absolutely a game changer. Number 3 is stop using the wrong practice techniques. Once you have identified the problem, i.e. once you've identified what you want to work on, such as intonation, rhythm, dynamics, whatever it may be, you need to use the right practice techniques to help you solve those problems. For example, if I wanted to work on intonation, I would not practice with a metronome. A metronome can help you figure out tricky rhythms, help you play faster, help you with your overall rhythm, but it's not going to do anything for intonation. Inside of Learn Violin Online, I've created a 50-page document that details what practice techniques to use to solve certain problems. Because if you're not practicing in the right way, if you're not using the right practice technique, it's not going to get fixed. Simple as that. Number 4 is stop the mindless repetitions. Repetition is a key part of practice, but only in the appropriate way. Once you've identified what you want to work on and you have chosen the correct practice strategy to help you improve that, then you enter a process of trial and error. You're just repeating the passage over and over again, say practicing with a drone, for example, but not analyzing your work, not thinking about if you were in tune or not, if you weren't, how high or how low, then you're really doing yourself a major disservice. The goal of the practice technique, the trial and error, is to get the piece or the passage to sound how you want. And then and only then is where you want to repeat it. Think about it this way. If you've played the passage incorrectly 5 times, and then you play the passage correctly 3 times, what is the likelihood the next time you play it that you're going to play it incorrectly? It's higher, right? You're more likely to play it incorrectly than correctly at that point. So ideally, you would repeat the passage correctly at least the same number of times that you played it incorrectly. if not more. Because if you played it the same number of times incorrectly and correctly, your chances of nailing it the next time are only 50%. A really annoying but effective game that you can play is to try to play a passage 5 or 10 times in a row correctly, and if you make a mistake on one of them, you have to go back to number 1. So if you had played it 4 times correctly and you're on the 5th time and you make a mistake, go all the way back to number 1. I know. It's a little bit masochistic, but it works. And finally, stop being afraid to record yourself. Recording yourself is such a valuable tool because it gives you an unbiased opinion or unbiased look into what you actually sound like. Instruments and your playing sound different to the audience than they do underneath your ear. And sometimes we're just not able to hear everything properly when we're playing because we're thinking about so many different things. Also, sometimes we might be unsure if we're playing this correctly or not, so that's another thing that recording can help you with. I can't tell you how many times I've asked students to record themselves and they basically just say like, I don't like to record myself because I don't like the way I sound. And trust me, I get it. Recording yourself can be brutal. And it's not always a good feeling when you feel like you're playing well or you feel like you're playing at least better than what you hear on the recording. However, the recording is not there to judge you, it's there to help you. So if you're unsatisfied with your playing, find out exactly what you're unsatisfied with and work on it. That's the only thing we can do. So which one of these are you guilty of? I must admit I've done all of them over the course of my career, but these 5 things are sure to stunt your practice. There's nothing more frustrating than feel like you're practicing and putting in the work, but you're not seeing the results. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure you subscribe before you go.